Alright guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Before we get started today, I am going to announce the winner to our last giveaway. And the winner for the last giveaway is Nails by Lady Red. Congratulations to you, and please send me a DM with your name, your address, so I can ship out you your surprise set from Notpolish. And for today's nails, before we get started on today's nails, we are going to have another giveaway. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell. And don't forget to leave the comment down below, and the winner will be chosen at random again. So good luck to you guys. And for today's nails, we're going to be doing some fall dark nails with some flames. Super easy, super cute. Well, it's always super easy. But anyways guys, check it out, and make sure to enter the giveaway, you make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below, and do not forget to ring the bell. And I'll see you guys next time. Alright guys, I already have the Notpolish Universal tips on, and today we'll be working with black powder. And anytime you're working with super pigmented color, you always want to use a clear coat of acrylic on the bottom of the nails before you use the dark color, right? So I put on the clear, and I'm gonna wait for that to dry. So while that's drying, I am gonna work on my next nail, and I'm just gonna be using a nude powder today. And this nude is number 141 from Notpolish, and the weather is hotter, so I'll be using 2 beads application, because when it gets hotter, the product dries faster. All right, you can see that I just press and pull all the way down to the tip of the nail. And make sure that you see, as you can see, I'm applying a little bit more pressure towards the end, just like that, just to ensure that I drag all the product to the tip of the nail. And then I'm going to use the body of my brush to mold it into the shape. And I'm going to use my second bead. I'm going to apply it about 90% of the 99.9% of the nail. Clean my brush, dip it in a little bit monomer, and then now I'm going to use the brush to flush the product into the cuticles, just like that. And then I'm going to press and pull the rest of the product down to the tip of the nails, and just like that. And for the second bead, if it does not get all the way to the tip of the nail, that's fine, because we already have product at the tip of the nail. So if it only went down like 85% to the tip of the nail, that's totally fine also, okay? Because we already have products down there. This does not need to be all the way down there if you can't get it all the way down. Again, second bead, I'm just gonna clean out the side a little bit like that. Flatten the top area like you would when you're doing ombre, and then pull down the rest of the product like you did earlier. And make sure you press it into the shape of the nail. There you go. And then I'm just gonna cut at the end. Yes guys, when the weather is super hot, make sure that you test out the product first, because sometimes when it's too hot, it's really hard to do 1 bead application because it dries really quick. So just to make sure you guys work accordingly to the weather. All right guys, this is the second bead. Again, super close to the cuticle. Clean my brush, dip it in a little bit monomer, and then before we do anything, I'm clean that, and then press it into the cuticles just like that. And I'm just going to press and pull the rest of the product down. And now we're going to be working with the black powder. And when working with black powder, make sure you guys do not overflow the product onto the cuticles, because once it's over the cuticle, you take the Dremel to it, even just a slight clean around the cuticle, what happened is your nail will look like it's already a week grown out. Okay guys, so what my trick is when I'm working with black or any dark powder, I just bring it really close to the cuticles and make it really thin around the cuticles without overflowing it into the cuticles. And so when I go to use my drill, around the cuticles, I very lightly go over it once, just a very light touch, because if you keep following around the cuticles, what happens is after you're done, your nail will look like it's already at least a week grown out. Okay, so just try to make it super nice, super clean, and super close to the cuticles without overflowing it onto the cuticles. And when you take your Dremel around the cuticle, just go very light, gently, and just one or two swipe around the cuticles and it'll be good. Okay, don't keep filing around the cuticles because it will look like it's already grown out. Alright guys, I just got these leaves. These leaves, you can get a bunch of them on Amazon. Okay, they're all over the Amazon, so if you want them, just search for fall leaves for nails on Amazon. It should pop up. And what I did is I just put a light coat of acrylic on the bottom just to have a sticky background to have so my leaves can stick on it, right? So you see that? Now that is done, we're gonna go in and encapsulate the whole thing in crystal clear powder. Alright guys, I'm just gonna go in and encapsulate it with crystal clear powder, just like that. And when working with crystal clear powder, make sure that you guys are making sure make sure that the bead is really wet, okay guys, or else you're gonna have a lot of air bubbles in your clear. If your clear dries too fast or you're not picking up enough monomer in your brush, then it will look like there's a lot of air bubbles in it. So make sure it's a little bit runnier, and then just pull it all the way down. Okay, so for this nail, I'm gonna push it all the way up really close to the cuticles. You see that? Just really close and nice and neat. Don't get it all messy. And then I'm gonna pull it all the way down, just a little bit, only halfway down the nail because we are keeping it clear. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna go in and make sure I get all the corners, and then I'm gonna pull it all the way down right now. And then just kind of flatten out the top to make sure that it's even and nice and clean. And I'm just gonna use my wet brush, just pick up the leaves and place it directly on top of the wet acrylic. Okay guys, just apply it on there, and I'll add another one. And on the spot that does not have any wet acrylic, I am going to go in with a thin layer of clear acrylic, just like that, just to be sure that my leaves have something to stick on. So just put a thin layer right there and just press the leaves into it. And I'm going to add a tiny little last one right there. And then now that's good, we're gonna go in and encapsulate the whole nail, but we already have the black all the way at the cuticle, so I'm just gonna go up about 80% of the nail because I don't want to make it super thick around the cuticles. Okay guys, and just press it into the nail and flatten out the top area to make sure that it's blending in with the black. And my crystal clear is a little bit runnier because we want it runny. So when it's runny like that, I am not going to press and pull, but rather I will bring it into the center of the nail to give it more time to set. And when it's set a little bit more, you see that? I'm just going to keep tapping into the center. And then now that it's set in, I'm going to press and pull the rest of the product onto the tip of the nail. All right guys, when it's too wet and you guys want to pull it in the press and pull technique down the rest of the nail, what happened is you will end up taking off a lot of the products, and we don't want that. That will make your nails extra thin. Okay, so when it's runny, what I do is I just kind of bring it into the center of the nail, just kind of play around with it, mold it into the nail just to give it a little bit of setting time. And once it's set a little bit more, then I go into press and pull the product down. And I'm just kind of level out the product right now with my brush. There you go. And now that's done, we're gonna use our favorite bit to shape the nails. And again guys, I love this 5-in-1 cross bit from Notpolish. And did you know it's also like a safety bit that allows you to get super close to the cuticles without cutting your clients, or when you go to shape the nails, you aren't afraid to nicking them on the side of the cuticles, because it is a safety bit. So it's very gentle on the skin, but it works really well on the acrylic. As you can see, this is what I use to shape my nails. And the nail tip does slide out the finger once in a while, so I'm just going to push it back. And now I'm just going to use the tip again just to smooth out the top of the nail, just like that. Just smooth it out. And then now we're going to go in with the Notpolish hand file to shape up the nails. There you go. And once that's done, I'm going to go in and make sure I buff it out nice and smooth. There you go. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Same rule with this nail. I am going to use the 5-in-1 cross bit again to shape up the nails before we do anything. And when we're done with this, we're just gonna buff it nice and smooth also. And then moving on to the next nail, we're gonna use the Ombre gel from Notpolish. And what I'm doing is right now just applying it on top of the nail nice and smooth. And then I am gonna clean around the edges just a tad to make sure that the shapes stay nice and sharp. Cure it for 30 seconds under the light. Now this is cure. I am using my ombre brush and brushing and dipping it into the black powder that I used earlier, and then just brush it on like that, a little bit heavier pressure at the tip, and lighten the brush as you go up, because we don't want it super dark at the top, right? There you go. You want a good transition in right there. And I'm just gonna keep rubbing it on just like that. Okay, and then now I am gonna go in with the second coat of ombre gel, because I want the black to be darker. So I'm gonna go in with the second coat of the ombre gel. Make sure you apply very little pressure when you guys apply the second coat of ombre gel. You don't want to drag the pigment off the nail, okay? Just very light stroke. Cure it for 30 seconds, and I'm gonna brush it on just a little bit at the tip, just like that. You see how that instantly got darker? Now that's done, I'm gonna go in with a top coat, a non-cleansing gel top coat. This is a gloss tip from Notpolish. Put the top coat on top of the whole nail, clean the edges, cure it for 30 seconds, and then now we're gonna go in with a design brush and I'm just using a white gel from Notpolish also. Is just a white gel, and I'm gonna go in to draw my flame. And as I mentioned before, always start with your center of the flame, and this is how the center of the flame always look, and then I work out the edge, the outside flame. You see that? So always start in the center first, the center of the flame first, and then work your way out just like that. And there you go, a little swoop. And then bring it in. And then now I'm just gonna go in with the white gel and color inside the flame. Make sure that it's nice and even. There you go. Clean off the edges just a little bit, and then cure it under the light. Make sure it's even right there too. And then we're gonna cure it under the gel light for 30 seconds. Make sure you guys do not under cure it, okay? And now this is already cured. I am gonna go in and just rub my pigment directly on top of the flame, just like that. You can pick any color you want. Rub my pigment on top. The reason why I put on a shiny top coat before I draw on the flame is if you did not put on a top coat and you go to draw on your flame, you rub on the pigment will stick to the black. But you see how I have the shiny top coat on the bottom? I can just go in and wipe off any pigment that got outside from the flame. Super easy, right? Same goes with this one. Rub on the pigment. And you see how I already had the top coat on that. So you see how the pigment got on the outside of the flame. If you didn't have the shiny top coat, it will stick onto the black and you can't remove it. It won't come off. It will really stick to the black. So if you have the shiny top coat on the bottom, it will prevent it from sticking to the black. So when I'm done with my flame, with my pigment in the flame, I'm just gonna use my finger, with my gloves on, and just kind of wipe it off, and it will just come off. Alright, I'm just gonna rub that on just a little bit more, and then you see that I use my fingers just to rub it off, and the pigment won't come off the flame, but it will come off the black, so which make it super perfect. And for the black nails, I'm just gonna apply my rhinestone on, and what I use to stick my rhinestone on is the diamond glue from Notpolish. And what I love about this glue is actually it's not a glue, it's a gel. It comes in a squeeze bottle, and it's a non-cleansing gel, so you don't it doesn't dry with a sticky residue, so it dries super nice and clean with no residue. Okay, and I'm just gonna apply my rhinestone on. And for my question of the day today is what sound like I was rapping for a second. What kind of nails do you guys think is the trendiest right now? Like, what's the nail trend right now? What you think is the most popular trend right now? Leave your comment down below, because you know what? I want to recreate some of the trends, so I just want to be updated with the trends. Okay, guys? And now I'm just going to cure it for 30 seconds, right? Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna apply my little beads. Okay, guys, when working with these tiny little beads, I like to make sure I use gel with it, because these little suckers are very tricky for it to last. So you want to use a gel, because gel is thicker, and it almost like when you put in these tiny little filler beads, the gel kind of swallow the bead up, so it does not fall off. Okay, so you want to use a thicker gel for these little beads right here. They're pretty, but they're a pain in the ass to work with. There you go. You can stick it on, and then I'm gonna clean off the edges a little bit, and then just make sure it's nice and neat in there. Cure it for 30 seconds, and now this is cure. I'm gonna go in with the matte top coat from Notpolish and apply it just around the rhinestone, and make sure you guys don't get it on top of the rhinestone. Okay, just apply it around there, and this will help your rhinestone last a lot longer too. that if you apply your top coat around the gems after you cure it, it lasts a lot longer. Alright, and this is a clear nail, so when we have a clear nails, we apply a clear top coat on the bottom of the nail to make sure that it looks more see-through when we're done, okay? I'm just going to clean it off a little bit, and then I'm curing the nails in the light for 30 seconds, and this is the finished product of the matte fall looks, guys. Look how cute.